I think we should be all good to go, and let's jump right in. So, welcome everybody. And today I am hosting one of my most favorite workshops that we have been doing for the last few years, and that is thinking about how you can make renovations to the space that you live in a easy, budget-friendly way. So you are in for a treat because we have been quietly working on doing the updates in the last few months to help you see what are some of the new trends that are coming up in 2025 and help you get excited about doing these things. A little bit about me. My name is Olga St Pierre. I am a real estate agent with Keller Williams Real Estate, and our team's passion and focus is helping clients move across the United States and Canada, and we've been doing that for the last 16 years. Our mission is to help everyone's dream of owning a home come true, and then support you once you become a homeowner is to be a sustainable and responsible one, and help you be a sustainable member of the community and just be there with you every step of the way and help you with questions and answers and just be there for you, because being a homeowner, as you know, it just the taking care of your home does not ever end. And those of you that are homeowners can definitely, I think, agree with me, because we all have, I think, like a mile-long list of things that are you're just adding onto the list, even though you are doing a little bit at a time. Part of our commitment to this is our concierge service. So think of this as your yellow pages, just like Amazon from A to Z. So if you think about it, if you need a contractor for different things projects that you want to tackle, if you are looking for a professional, we're going to be heading into a tax season very soon. If you need maybe someone to consult about saving and investing, financial advisor, anyone that you can think of like that, we're happy to help you and point you in the right direction. And that's where our resources do come in. So this is absolutely free of charge to you. So don't hesitate to take advantage of that. I love to be a resource to all of you for whatever may come your way that you are looking for. So let's jump right in and actually get started on talking about trends and renovations and things that you can do. And why is it important to be in the loop? If you're telling me that, hey, Olga, I am not moving, maybe I just recently purchased my home, that's awesome. And I think it's also important to understand how trends do change with time. I can think of myself when I moved into the current home that I'm in, and I moved in here in 2005. My daughters, I have two, well, one of them wasn't even born, and my other one was not even, see, she was 7 months, right? So 7 months old. So the updates that I've done to my home back then are probably not going to be the same ones that I would do now, because now both of my girls are grown. One of them is in college and the other one is almost graduating high school. So my preferences have also changed over the time. And I stay on top of trends, not just as a agent, because it's important to me, because I want to be the advisor to the clients in my practice, but also as a homeowner to understand how trends are evolving, how things are changing, because the technology is getting more powerful. We have artificial intelligence. So how can we use these tools to help us as homeowners? So, and as you guys watch HGTV and TLC channels and you see some of the renovations that are being done there, I'm here to tell you that you can do all of those things as well and be in your budget. I don't want you to think about the fact that a lot of the companies sponsor those shows and they provide those materials perhaps free of charge just to be featured on the show. I think it's important to know that this is something that you can accomplish yourself and have that HGTV home of your dreams right here in our community and make it a reality. And these things can be done on a budget. So let's jump right in and talk about some of the things that you can even accomplish over the weekend. That is my goal, is to help you get started with some of the simple things that you can do maybe 1 or 2 days. And literally, let's say on the Friday, you were going to get started, Sunday night you were done. And then on Monday, as you start your week, you were like, wow, I actually got the whole project accomplished from start to finish. Right? So that is the goal. So, as a lot of you guys know, I am a huge, huge fan of paint. And don't knock it out or down because paint has also changed in quality and variety because of the technology that we have had in the last 20 to 30 years. You can use paint just for about anything in your home, inside, outside. And these are some of the things that I want to bring to your attention to kind of get you starting to think about doing painting as, first of all, being your friend and being one of the most economical things that you can do to your home to have a drastic impact. So when we are talking about paint, we're talking about a couple of different companies and different colors. And yes, there are some companies that are more affordable than others, right? Things that you can find in your local hardware store. And the colors that we're talking about, since we started doing these workshops now over 6 years ago, a lot of the colors have not changed because they just have been timeless. What we have noticed is that in the last few years, some of the grays and the cool colors have been kind of going away. It was just too much gray and too much beige. And the colors that are really in right now are your neutral whites. So just as an example, I just want to show you some of the top colors that are in the Benjamin Moore family, which is one of the leaders in the paint industry. Some of these colors really have not changed since I started doing these workshops since 2018. The other important thing, because of the technology, is that if you were to go to Home Depot and let's say that you are on a budget and you can only afford to buy Behr paint, because yes, Benjamin Moore is quite a bit more expensive, you can actually head to the paint department, show them, let's say, for example, that you really like the color of Swiss coffee in the Benjamin Moore line. You can take this color name and the swatch number to Behr counter, and they will be able to match that color because of their technology, which I think is absolutely amazing. So the way I want you to think about paint is a fresh coat will be able to give you a much brighter room and also help you make it appear larger. And this is, I think, in many cases, one of the two biggest reasons why we are looking to do a refresh and thinking about it. Because let's say, in my own personal example, when my oldest daughter and we moved into this home, I painted her color very pretty pale lemon, because that's what the color I wanted. Well, as she gotten older, she loved the lemon until about the time she got into high school. And then she said, Mom, I am great. I love the color, but now I would like something else. And we picked out actually one of the neutral colors, and she repainted her room. And the room looked bigger. It looked a little bit more modern and fresher. And all it took literally was just a couple hours and a gallon of paint. So as we are thinking ahead, every big paint manufacturer picks out their colors of the year, and sometimes they are very spectacular, like you can see the color for Behr, and sometimes they're more muted. So it just depends, but I have fun watching different companies come up with these colors. And as you can see, you can see the trends because most of these paint companies are focusing on trying to figure out and staying on top of trends. And as you can see, this color is called Rumors in the Behr family. And one of the first things that you can see is, guess what? They're using this color to paint cabinets, and they're doing it in two tones, which is one of the trends that I'm continuing to see that started a couple of years ago. The other thing that I really like that the companies do is they say, okay, well, here's the color that we are choosing as a focus. However, here's the color palette that this color is going to either contrast or work with to help you make some of these decisions to say, okay, what can I use it with so that it's going to complement and look really nice. 2025 color capsule of the year is what we're talking about. We say, okay, here is the Sherwin-Williams choices, and they're saying, this is what we are choosing as some of the top colors, perhaps not one, but a top 5 to 10. And they're also giving you some of the examples on what you can do with these colors so that way you can look at it and say, how can I really apply it in the home? So we are also including for you some of the QR codes, so that way you can literally use your phone, point to it, and then be able to download some of this information to make it easier for you if maybe one or two colors really were attracting to you. So how are we going to kind of figure out which of these colors make sense to us? Because it's one thing where the color, you are looking at it and it really, really makes sense to you because it just feels great to your eye, but it may be very different how it would look in your space, especially if it's sunny outside like I have it right now, or it's dark because it's the evening hours, or maybe it is cloudy and it's rainy. I actually learned it the hard way. Some of the paint colors are going to look different depending on the time of the day. So as an example, the color of 2024 for Pantone, which is the leader for interior design and for, this is who a lot of the people in the industry follow to see what the trends are, was peach fuzz, right? So just as an example. So how can we do that? The technology is amazing, and I included a couple of the websites for you to be able to take a photo of any space that you have, whether it's inside or outside, be able to upload the photo of your room or your wall, and then you can actually virtually change the colors based on perhaps maybe a list of a couple that you have picked out that really are tickling your fancy. And of course, there's traditional ways. You can get some sample containers, which are small, like a little pint or a quart or little samples. You can actually check paint brand websites for sample options. They might be able to send you some swatches or maybe even stickers. I love the idea of doing stickers because what we are usually used to is what? Just taking a little pint and a brush and then walking around and putting some of these samples on the walls to see what they look like when they're dry, depending on the room and where it's located in your home. But if you really don't want to dirty your walls because maybe you are not ready to start the project yet, you can actually get peel and stick samples. So they will paint a sticky note, right, is what I call it. Really, it's a kind of like a post-it note, and then you can peel it, put it on the wall, then you can actually peel it off, and then you can put it on in a different room, and it'll give you some really good ideas on what is it going to look like, and then you can see if it looks just as great in your space versus what you thought it would look like, because it really helped you and made you feel good when you were looking at it. So there really is never a bad time to paint and refresh. So a couple of suggestions here for you is, depending on which room you're painting, you may consider using different finishes. And I included a guide here for you to help you brainstorm where it may be a good idea. My go-to paint really for high traffic areas is eggshell or satin. And the reason being is because your magic eraser sponge is your friend, especially if you have small kids who walk around with sticky fingers, or they may be drawing on the walls, or maybe it's a high traffic area. The easiest thing that you can do is take a magic eraser and just clean it up. Because if you were to do that with a flat paint, you will be taking off the coat and then you will be able to see the difference. If you are doing trim work or you're painting doors, then this is where you may consider using semi-gloss or gloss colors. Another trick that I have learned, which I think is absolutely genius, is, when I'm helping clients move, a lot of the times we are all seeing, and it just makes sense to us, is to store the paint that we have used so that way we don't forget what we use the colors, right? And a lot of the times, once you open the paint and let's say 6 months go by, that paint is not good anymore. So if you are painting the house and you're using different finishes and different colors, my suggestion to you is indicate in each room, use the back of a switchblade to indicate when you painted the room, what was the trim that you used, what was the name of the manufacturing of the paint, and what was the color. And if you even want to, you can include a swatch. So again, this is just to help you make your life easier. So that way, if you had to repaint again, or if you needed to get maybe a little touch-up container, you can do that very, very easily. Now, let's talk about some of the projects that you can do. The first one of my most favorite ones that I recommend to just about everyone, is to help you spruce up your entryway for that immediate impact. And that could be repainting your front door. If you haven't looked at the cost of the doors lately, you might be surprised in for a shocker on these sticker prices of those doors, because front doors are typically heavy. They are heavy duty. Some of them are metal, some of them are wood, and they are not cheap. That is for sure. So again, your friend is going to be your painting that door. And here where I encourage you to potentially deviate from the standard colors of white and black. Even though black, I think, is a striking classic color. If you use that, you may want to go to like a satin color, because then it will be nice, or even a gloss finish, because it's going to really stand out. But why not do some really striking color? So if you look at the colors in this palette that I have selected here to share with you, the purple one is actually one of our clients. She absolutely adores purple. And she asked me, Olga, do you think it would be really obnoxious if I painted my front door purple? And I told her, Stephanie, absolutely not. You can absolutely do that. You can go to town, and because every time you're going to come into your home, it's going to put a smile on your face. And that's exactly what she did. She painted her door purple. As you can see, it's a really nice, mellow color. So a couple of pointers to remember when you're painting on the outside: you need to make sure that you are doing a paint that is specifically designed for outdoor. Experiment with brand colors for fun and energy. You can also express your style with hardware, lighting, and flowers as well. And again, if you're not sure on the color that you like, you can use some of those technology that we mentioned to you before, just to go in and play around with color and see what is going to look good with, and complement perhaps if you have stonework at the outside, depending on the color of your siding, your roof, and your shutters. And at the same time, let's not forget your interior doors as well. If you really want to, you can paint the back side of your front door with the same color as the outside, or you can do a different color. It is really up to you. So if I gave you some food for thought here, if you really wanted to get creative, and let's say you will live in the older home and you have some of these plain doors, right? Like this one here, the brown one, nothing says that you cannot do some trim and do some board sheets and actually update your door. Absolutely easy to do. You can glue it on, or you can use a nail gun, whatever you feel most comfortable with. You can also update the hardware, and voila. The same thing, we can also talk about doing some updating with some trim work as well. If you have some of the natural trim work, a lot of the time people say that it's going to date your home. But that may not be necessarily true, because perhaps your whole home has that woodsy feel and woodsy style, and we can definitely work with that. However, as you can see, sometimes you can actually do this updating, and you can see by adding some of the trim work and by painting, you can really not just update the look, but also elevate the style. Here we go. As you can see, guys, I'm really passionate about using paint. We're just going to keep going with the same trend. So here we're actually talking about updating your staircases with paint. If you have some of the natural spindles, they can really date the home, and you can say, well, yeah, this is definitely potentially 70s, 80s, or 90s. But here you can do things on the budget. If you just wanted to paint and do the same spindles in white, you can do them in a darker brown color, right? Or if you wanted to, you can keep some of the wood, but then replace the spindles in the middle with some metal options. Lots of different options depending on what your local hardware store is going to have. And if you wanted to also do some updating and remove the carpet and then just paint the stairs, you can do that. And it really does make a really, really nice impact where you can see it goes immediately from the update. And this is something that you can accomplish in the weekend in terms of painting. All right, now let's dive into a little bit more elaborate project on how you can use paint as a base to help you make a large impact for some of the other rooms in your home. So this is the definitely new material that we have included along with some costs. Just remember that depending where you are living, your costs may be more or even they can be less. So the question for you is, can you believe that this transformation was done on under $6,000? And here's how this happened. Let's jump in and break it down a little bit. So number one, phase one is painting the walls. The cost is you're doing it yourself. So that's going to be the cost of your materials and the paint. Phase two, hiring the professional to help you paint the cabinets and add the hardware. If you want to do it yourself, you're more than welcome to. It is a little bit more labor intensive because you have to remove the hinges, you have to remove the doors. The cost for that project is $2,500 roughly. And then phase number three is where you hire a professional to install the countertops. Depending on what they are, the cost is going to vary. Whether you are doing maybe something that is solid stone or you are maybe doing something else. And also don't forget that you can save money and paint your existing countertops. So a few tips here is to do a little bit at a time. Yes, you're going to be living in a project and kind of under renovation for a little bit, but if your goal is to save money and do some transformations, just plan that out. If you are going to be painting the cabinets, remember, the lighter the color, the more spacious your room is going to look. So if your kitchen right now is on the darker side, you may want to go as light as white, because white is the best color that is going to reflect light and make just about any space look so much bigger. Another cabinetry, another example to help you is these cabinets and walls were painted by a homeowner, and the professional was then hired to replace just the connecting countertop and the backsplash. So as you can see, $300 roughly to get the paint supplies, and then another $300 for the professional to install a new countertop and backsplash as well. So here we are seeing painted cabinets, updated hardware, and then new countertop, but everything else, the cabinets are staying the same. So what they also did do is remove the border. The border, it does really date the space, and then they went in with a lighter paint color. So if you don't want to paint your cabinets, you don't have to. There are some things that you can do to help you come up with a style that makes sense to you and do some small tweaks to help you, okay? So what did they do here? They have painted using the white paint. Then they updated the cabinet hardware, just under $100. So you can buy the pulls and everything either in your local hardware store or can head over to Amazon and buy things in bulk. Then the subway tile was used for the trim work. That was about $300, but that was just the cost for the material, not the labor. And then $1,500 was for the granite countertops for the materials as well as the installation, okay? Some helpful tips to kind of get you moving in the right direction is you can use Google or Pinterest to find some inspiration for the photos, right? To help you say, okay, this is what I really like. How do I make it happen? And then it'll give you really some of the visual to help you see what the end goal is and can be a really good motivator to help you keep going and moving forward in the right direction. Here are some other tips that I just want to share with you here to, again, help you get your creative juices going, okay? The kitchen valances, the wooden valances really do date the cabinets. And if you have it nice and curvy, this is definitely kind of reminding people of 80s and 90s. It's very easy to remove. And you can use that as just a starting point. You can also update your hardware. You can update your lighting as some of the easy tips. You can try stainless steel contact paper or other fun prints to do even backsplash, as well as maybe doing things with your refrigerator or your appliances. And also don't forget, if you really like your hardware, but you're looking to update just the color, you can absolutely paint your hardware as well. This is where my favorite brand, Rust-Oleum, comes into play. One of those cans cost under $20, and it's very easy to do, and then you can put it right back on. Another idea that I already mentioned to you when we started talking about painting the cabinetry is only painting part of it, either up or the down cabinets, but you can absolutely do that. So as you can see, the difference between the cabinet on the left and the cabinets on the right, the things that they did differently here is they only painted the bottom cabinets. They updated some of their hardware. They put in new countertops and they did a backsplash, but you can see a huge difference. So, and what they also did do is if you look on the top, they added some trim work to kind of just, dress up the cabinetry right over at the ceiling. So just some ideas to help you. All right, so now we're heading into the bathrooms. So this transformation was done very inexpensively, as you can see, under $300. So what did they do? Okay, they did some new bath fixtures as well as the vanity fixtures. And guess what? They're not new. They were painted. They used, again, the Rust-Oleum spray and paint, and you can absolutely do that. You just have to be very vigilant about following the instructions, because if you think about it, these are the things that you use on the regular basis, and they're going to be touching water. So make sure that you follow instructions to a T. So what else was done here? The back of the walls was painted, and then the floor was replaced. Peel and stick tiles. So I just want you to take your time for a second and just kind of take a look and see. And then they also did some other cosmetic little things where it was a new hardware. They put in a new shower curtain. So very small things, but yet it was for immediate impact. That black and white classic contrast, I think, is really amazing. Look here. This is just some other ideas to help you figure out how you can maximize your space, because if you are in the rental, you may do one thing. If it's your own home and maybe you are renovating a guest bathroom or maybe a powder room, but I want you to think about, again, how can you maximize the space? How can you use your your existing features and faucets and other things that maybe are still in good shape, maybe they just need a little refresh. And this is where this page comes in also to give you some good ideas. All right, heading into our bedrooms, and let's talk a little bit about carpeting. I have clients quite often ask me and say, Olga, we are going to be getting ready to move. We're going to be downsizing, maybe doing something else. What can we do with our carpet to help and make a difference if you just can't clean it anymore? Right? So let's say that you tried to shampoo it and the stains just don't come out, or maybe the carpet is really old, or maybe it's one of those carpets that are really showing the age of the home, whether it's 70s or 80s. So believe it or not, I still see that carpet. The suggestion here is for you to select neutral colors and have a very much cohesive look. Don't pick different colors for different rooms. You want to do something very neutral that is stain resistant. Some of the colors that I have recommended to clients have actually 2 or 3 different colors in them. It could be a little bit of beige, a little bit of gray, and that actually hides the stains really well. But it's going to be the same color in every single room that you may want to carpet. Extra savings tip, you can find a company that offers carpet remnants, which are leftovers, to help you and save quite a bit of money. All right, now we're heading into our fixtures. Again, this is what I always suggest to people before you start replacing them, because as you know, if you head over to Home Depot or Lowe's right now, and let's say you want to buy a new ceiling fan, you will be having a sticker shock because if you wanted something modern, it's going to cost you $300-400. So before you head in that direction, my suggestion to you is always try to paint your existing features, because you can actually replace a lot of the pieces to transform it into more modern look without having to go through the whole thing and actually putting out a lot of money. Your light fixtures, your exterior light fixtures, your dining room pieces, even your ceiling fans, you can absolutely actually paint and replace some things to help you and make them more modern. And these are the ideas that I have here for you. And again, this is where your Rust-Oleum brand spray paint is going to be your best friend. So besides the light fixtures, you can actually update your vent covers. In many cases, I have also done this in my own home. We will clean them, and if you just can't clean them anymore, this is where we just spray paint them again, and they look brand new. This tip actually is not going to cost you anything at all, and it's one of the easiest ways for you to make a space look bigger and to elevate. I don't know who came up with the idea of framing our windows when we are putting up curtains and curtain rods. However, if you are looking to increase the space, I want you to think about how you can do that by simply moving your curtain rods higher and wider than your window. So I encourage you to use the rule of thumb here, as high as you can go to the ceiling and as wide as you can go, to be able to make that wall look a lot larger. And you will be surprised at the difference that this makes in your home. As you can see, we'll give you some examples here where, look at the window was really much wrapped around. And then, of course, besides some of the other updates that they've done in this home, is they have elevated the curtains. And the longer the curtains, visually, when you look at it with just the naked eye, it automatically makes that space look taller and bigger. Next up is reupholstering furniture. It's one of my easier ways and really inexpensive ways to do that. When my husband and I were younger and we were setting up our home, we actually had a dining room set that was given to us, and the cushion were really dingy and old looking. So my mom and I went to a fabric store and we bought some pieces of fabric, and then it was very easy to replace those cushions and just literally put the new fabric right on top, staple it, and then the chairs looked brand new with the color of my choice. And of course, you can do that with many other pieces of furniture, especially if it's something that maybe was handed down to you and you really enjoy. Maybe it's a little piece of antique furniture or something that you want to keep going. This is a great way for you to dress it up and make it your own without having to purchase something new. So I have some ideas here for you as well. So where are we going to buy or maybe look for ideas? I have listed a few places here for you that you can take a look at. Of course, your local hardware store is going to be your best bet if you're the type of person that wants to go in and, pick up some colors and swatches and look at the Rust-Oleum lineup, or perhaps look at the ceiling fans. Absolutely start there, but also don't forget to look at and get some ideas online as well. If floor decor stores are local to you, I love them because they have a lot more options and variations than just a Home Depot, where you can actually go into one department, pick up a couple of pieces of flooring or tile, and then take it into the bath department and look and see how those pieces are going to look together, if they make sense to you. And also, you can order and take everything with you right then and there. All of the items on the floor are going to be stocked and available. Wayfair.com, lamps plus open box for some interesting ideas and lamps that I have found. Of course, Overstock, Amazon, eBay, and then for ideas, you can look at house.com, Pinterest, Facebook Marketplace, and also Habitat for Humanity stores. Don't be shocked if you want to visit ones that are local to you. A lot of the times there are things that are there that Home Depot, Target, I've seen a lot of Target items that are brand new that were donated to Habitat to sell. so that way they can then raise money for their projects. And Habitat does have a lot of new items as well that you can buy. So a lot of you might be thinking, well, this is all great, but I just don't have the money right now. Well, don't worry. We have some ideas here for you as well. If you are looking to maybe save up and do those projects in your home, it does not have to be a chore or a dread. We have some ideas here for you to help you make it fun. Let's make this fun. So one of the fun ways that we have been recommending to save money, whether you're saving it for your projects or maybe something else, is having a savings bingo. So the one on the right that we have here for you is you can print it out, or if you want, we can print it out and send it to you as well, is a bunch of different squares. So 1 week you may want to save and that all you have is $200. Perfect. So you put that money in a high yield savings account, right? So make sure that you're saving money in the high yield saving account that is going to pay you at least 3% of interest. Okay. And then the next week, let's say you have a lot more money saved up. Great. So then you say, you know what? I'm going to pick another square and I'm going to save 600 and then I'm going to cross that off. So as you keep going, once this whole page is going to be filled, guys, this is how you get to $10,000. Let's have fun and let's make sure, and let's tell ourselves that saving up and having some money, whether you're doing it for projects or you are doing it for maybe something else like an emergency savings, you need to tell yourself that saving up to help you with what you want to accomplish is not an option. It should be just as when you're paying your bills or you're eating or you're sleeping, it should be part of your routine as a requirement to help you. So other great tools to help you is when you get your tax return done, you can get that refund, put it directly into the savings account. And also, if you are fortunate about getting a salary increase, we're starting a new year, or let's say you got a bonus, you need to take that money straight away and put it in this savings account as well. So if you are going to be hiring someone because you're going to say, you know what, maybe I don't have time for this project, but I would love to get it done. I have some ideas and helpful information here for you that if you are looking to hire a contractor, the best time to do these projects is late fall and winter. This is when the contractors are not as busy, because as you can imagine, most of the people are doing these projects in a spring and summertime because the weather is nice, and I totally get it. So if you are looking to be on the budget and you're looking for some flexibility, then late fall and winter are going to be your best friends. Where can you find some good contractors? Definitely ask for recommendations to your friends and family. This is where our concierge service is also going to be helpful to you. You can look for suggestions on your Nextdoor app, your local Facebook group, friends and family, and also websites like Thumbtack and Angie's List as well, if maybe you're not getting some good recommendations from others as well. My suggestion to you is obtain a few quotes. 3 or more is going to be better. This way you can get an idea on what are the prices. And I definitely suggest that you check and verify contractor's license and insurance, and you can do that on your state's website. So as you are going through this project, don't be surprised because the prices have increased. Delivery times are also high. You may have to wait longer for a good contractor to find room in their schedule. However, those things are worth the wait and the patience to get things done right. So this is what I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for being with us and allowing me to share some of these tips with you. If you are going to be embarking on a project and you're looking for a list of contractors and companies that can help you, please let us know. We'll point you in the right direction and help you. If you are not sure what you want to do and you would like a complimentary home updating consultation, I do that as well. I'm happy to help you, whether it's in person or maybe just a phone call away or on Zoom. walk me through your projects. I'm happy to give you some of my own thoughts. And of course, as you know, as a real estate agent, my goal is to help you preserve your equity in your home. So if you want to know what your home is worth, or maybe you are thinking about or kind of starting to make plans for your retirement, I'm happy to help you just kind of figure out what is happening in your area, where the market is heading, or anything else that you can think of. I'm available to speak to privately as well. So you have my contact information on this page. And as you guys know, we host workshops every week on different topics. And if you want to save and bookmark this link right here, Live with Olga, this is where all of our schedule is, and the information on the workshops and the classes as well. Next up is, if you missed a workshop or you want to watch this again, because I record all of our workshops, you can head over to At Home with Olga. This is where all of our webinar recordings and other helpful videos live. And my second YouTube channel is all about living well and planning for retirement. If that is if you're in your late 40s, early 50s, and you're starting to make those plans, so please head over there and look for some helpful information. And you can scan this QR code for some additional free resources that we have absolutely no charge to you. You can download those things or you can request them and we will send them over. So that's what I have to share with you today. And now I know there were some questions when we registered, so let me pull them up and I'm going to answer them. And also in the meantime, if anybody else has anything else, let me just take a look at the questions. Okay, so the first question is it worth converting a bathtub into a stand-up shower and replacing a bathroom sink cabinet with one that has storage drawers? So to answer the question about the bathtub, so bathtubs are important for families if you have small kids. If you only have one bathroom in your home, or let's say you have one full bathroom and a powder room, I would leave a bathtub in. If you have a home that has two full bathrooms and you want to, let's say, put in a shower in your primary bedroom, that is absolutely a great idea. I would leave the second bathroom with a tub, because eventually when you do need to move, somebody who is going to be having a family is going to want a bathtub for smaller, younger kids. And the second question was about the bathroom sink cabinet. I love storage drawers because you want to use as much space as you have in your bathroom, especially if it's small. So whatever you think is best for you, that's what you probably should do. All right. Rarathon, not a problem. We're going to get all the resources to you. No worries. All right. And as you can see, we also posted the links to the resources and the YouTube channels for you. Anybody else has any questions so far right now? You are welcome to jump in, or if you want to type them in the chat, whichever is more convenient for you. And Alicia, I know that you jumped in a little bit late. Just so you know, I'm recording the workshop, so we'll get you the workbook that I shared as well as the recording. You're going to get that in the email, so don't worry. All right, you are muted, so if there's anything you want to add, you need to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
No?
can hear you now.
Yes. Okay. I was just trying to say thank you. I don't do these meetings very much, and my child ended up having a doctor appointment. So I got a reminder and I'm like, oh, I really want to listen to this. So sorry I'm driving and eating and all the things,
Hey,
being
don't worry.
irresponsible.
I remember those days. No worries. Yeah,
So,
I'll send you the recording so you can just listen in at your convenience.
okay. I was doing a lot of screenshots too,
Don't
because I
worry.
didn't
Yeah,
realize I would be able to look back on it. So,
of course. Yep, no
yeah.
worries. Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with everyone.
of course. No worries. My pleasure.
Yeah. Okay. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, if there's nothing else, thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully, I'll see you at another week and another one of our workshops. And we will get you all of this information between today and tomorrow. That is all recorded. And if you have any questions, just reach out. I'm always here to help. So have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Hey, thank you.